Long, long ago, when the world was young, gods still walked its surface, and they fought for their lives against the vicious titans.
I will give you one chance, Father. Cease this bloodshed or you will force our hand.
Your father, Titan Kronos, strives towards you, while your fellow gods clash with his Titan siblings in bloody chaos around you.
First my children rebel against me, then my youngest amends my surrender. This treachery ends now.
He lifts one mighty hand, but in all of his might, he's slow. You raise your voice and call out to another.
Hera, my love. Is it?
Care, my darling. Your wife, a fierce goddess in her own right, darts across the battlefield and tosses you, your last hope, forged in secret, for one purpose. The Titan Killer, forged from blood and theirs. You heft the blood-red spear, toss it through the air like one of your thunderbolts, and it pierces Kronos' chest.
This is all you have to wield against me. A twig. You cannot...
A little more than a twig, you monster. He staggers, blood pours from the wound in great gouts. Titan blood, made of pure magic and elemental power.
You can't kill.
He falls to his knees and the earth buckles beneath his weight. You walk over to him and as the battle slows around you.
No, we can. May Oblivion show you more kindness than you showed us.
On his knees, he is still taller than a hillside, but low enough for you to meet his gaze as you pluck the spear from his chest. It takes only one slash, and your father's massive head rolls to the ground at your feet.
What say the rest of you Titans? Will you lay down your arms and let us live in peace? Or will you join our father?
Towering beings the size of mountains pause in their conflict with their brethren. The world seems to hold its breath.
We kneel.
One by one, the Titans kneel. Your fellow gods flock to your side as you raise the spear high, your voice ringing out like a crack of thunder.
Then let there be peace. Let no god ever fear for their life again, so long as I reign.
And so there was peace. And then thousands of years later and many miles away, there was you.
What are your prunions?
We have... Okay. Male or female, even though we chose she, her. Let's see what face options I give. Okay. What hair crowns your head? I like the red. Probably go with the red. Arbor. Pyros. Chapter 1. Awakening. On a blistering hot summer night in Los Angeles. Come on, we need you. Don't die on me now. You wipe sweat from your brows. You plead with the plant on the shop counter in front of you, but it continues to droop. Maybe it needs some more water. A pep talk. Some more water, we'll try that. You pick up your favorite misting bottle and give it a spritz. Are you thirsty? Because I am not reenacting Little Shop of Horrors, but you can have all the water you want. Just have a little sip and keep doing your plant thing until Miss Chen comes to pick you up to... There's no wind in the shop, but one withered leaf suddenly trembles. Color shoots through its wan surface, and then... Miss Chen's plant. It's fine. Also has 3 apples now. Did that just... As you stare at the now lively plant, the bell above the door chimes. Your dad walks in sipping a soda. Oh, still here. I thought you'd be done with inventory by now. I was just getting Miss Chin's plant ready for pickup tomorrow. It was looking rough, but... Rough? It's practically dead an hour ago. Good thing you've always had the magic touch, kiddo. Well, I sure didn't get it from you. No, that one's all your mom. Yeah. Are you ever going to tell me about her? Your dad sighs. Oh, there's only so much I can tell, I'm sorry. That's what he says every year. I know it sucks that she didn't stick around, but she gave me you, and not a day goes by when I'm not grateful for that. He squeezes your shoulder and you give him a smile. No complaints about that part. But listen, I don't know if Miss Chin is gonna make it tomorrow. Her baby's due any day now, and she doesn't want to leave the... Hang on, I thought she was due 2 weeks ago. Me too, but that baby must be stubborn. The point is, our friend will have to wait to see its new home. I'll put it in the back and close up then. Good night, Dad. He heads out the door, but as you carry the potted plant through the shop, you can't stop picturing what you saw. Maybe the plant wasn't as bad as I thought, or maybe I just really need some caffeine. You nestle the plant's pot onto a shelf, and then the door chimes again.
Oh, good. I'm just in time.
A woman stands in your shop. Despite the summer heat, her face is hooded by a thick cloak that drapes around her hunched form. Actually, you're way past closing time. Our hours are posted right on the...
I am aware, but I need your help now.
Her voice is melodic, like honey dripping into your ears. You feel a sudden, almost physical need to help her, to be closer. I said we're closed. You will your muscles to move away from her, but they do not budge. Your feet stay frozen in place. What the hell? Am I having a seizure?
No, you are just being a good little puppet. Unless you move.
She tosses her hood back, and finally you see the feathers sprouting from her skin, the sharp teeth framing a hungry maw. I've seen you once before. They're reusing you now, I see.
The easier it'd be to rend your flesh from your bones.
She lunges for you. In a burst of adrenaline, your limbs are suddenly your own again. You leap out of the way just as one of her arms, a wing ending in gleaming claws, crashes into a vase where you once stood. This isn't happening. This is not happening. This... She surges after you at impossible speed. Snarling, you dodge around another one of the shop's tables. Oh god, this is happening.
My, what a treat. Never not smelt new blood like yours in so long.
An identical bird-like person monster slinks in from the back of the shop.
I know, sisters. I cannot wait to see how it tastes.
A third one joins the first two as you bump up against one of the shop tables. It's about the scissors you were used to cut the wrapping paper. We have keep running. Defend yourself with scissors. Flip the table into their path. YOLO. As they stalk towards you, you duck behind the table, say a silent apology to all the plants on its surface, and heave. Pots shatter as you block off two of the approaching creatures. They snarl, and you take the chance to look around for an exit. Now I've just got to get out of here. Maybe if I get out of here, I'll wake up, or...
Going somewhere.
Damn it! The first monster smiles, a hungry smile. Her talons reach for you. And then there is a shattering of glass as a man throws your front door open, glowing like he is the sun itself. Oh, okay. You just come from a party, did you, with a lot of glitter? Let her go. He raises a hand and a shaft of sunlight blasts from his palm, striking the creature in the chest. She flies backward into a row of shells. Great, I'm hallucinating sun guys. At least they're helpful sun guys. As the other creatures surge towards him, screeching and dodging more blasts of light, the man calls out over his shoulder. Sorry to break it to you, but you aren't hallucinating. Our friends here are very real.
I'm very hungry.
Well, McDonald's is open. Go away. With a flap of your wings, the first one drags herself out of the wrecked shelf. She limps towards you. You're out of space to run. Either way, not a fan. Got any more of those laser beams? The man blasts one of the creatures right in the face with sunlight, and it collapses in a sizzling heap, but the other's right upon him. Not enough. If we're going to get out of this, you need to wake up. The words ripple through you. Suddenly you smell the mulch at the shop more sharply. See the color in every leaf brighten as they turn to you. You reach out to block her path, but it's not your arms that move. A vine erupts from a nearby planter to crush or cut her off. Holy shit. That's it. Embrace what you feel. Fight. The dying monster is somehow still writhing as he battles the other with bursts of light, but the first one is advancing on you. It'll ensnarl its wings. You grit your teeth and try to extend your will through the plant matter, and the vine moves. It lances upward, wrapping around her whole body like a vice and pinning her wings to her side. You flick your wrist and the vine twists, toppling her to the floor.
No.
The second monster hurtles out your front door. The man flings one last beam of light after her, but she vanishes into the night sky. So Mr. Sunbeam couldn't move his beams faster than light and kill them? I'm questioning those. What the hell was all that? Sighing, the man turns back to you, and the light around him fades away. A very unideal introduction. I'm sorry about your shop. Forget my shop, who on earth are you, and what were those things, and what the hell is going on? Well, the first one's easy. I'm the god Apollo. Aren't you supposed to be blonde? He chuckles. I get that a lot. The whole golden hair thing was never literal. It's just because I can do this. Weirdly, that makes sense. I'm assuming he's a love interest. To answer your second question, those were sirens, ancient creatures who lure prey in with their voices. And to answer your third, they were here for you. Or rather, here because of whose blood runs in your veins. You never met your mother, did you? No, she left when I was just a baby, but how the hell do you know that? Well, because I have a vision tonight that told me 3 things. 1, that a woman named Arbor was in grave danger, that she could save my family, and that she is the daughter of Demeter, goddess of growing things. I'm assuming I said that name correctly. What? You say that like I should know who that is. That is insane. If this is true, I have a million questions. Yeah, I don't know that name. I've never heard it before. She is a Greek goddess of agriculture and seasons. Among other things, your power over plants, that's her gift to you. Oh look, powers. Loot. You've unlocked the power of growth. You've learned your first divine power. Throughout the book, you'll have chances to learn more and more and use them in the journey ahead. Gather every power to unlock a special scene at the end of the book. Well, we have a total of 6 more powers to obtain. Whoop-de-doo. I have never seen a vision of you before today, but somehow those sirens knew to come here seeking your blood. The question is, did they just smell a meal, or did someone send them? He turns to the siren wrapped in vines, but she lets out a wet, gurgling laugh. Her lips part to reveal a bloody stump where she has bitten off her own tongue. Wonderful. No answers out of her, then. So, what do we do with her? We can't just leave her here for my dad or some customer to stumble on. We should set her free. Though I fear she may only come after you again, or we could put a more final thing in things. Hang on, you just told me magic and gods are real and you're now suggesting killing the bird person in my shop. Not gladly, but it may be the safest option. Since it is your life she threatened, though, I leave her fate in your hands. Throughout the book, you embrace different sides of your godly persona. Bloom, the path of growth. Spring, chaos. Or reap, the path of endings, winter, and order. Choose wisely, especially when life and death are on the line. Well, if I know anything about the Greek gods, typically it's more beneficial if you select the good path. Versus, let's be honest, Hercules, who's half god, has beat, death many, many times. So that's just my choice. Feel free to do reap and let me know. Spare her. I don't need her blood on my hands. The moment you say those words, the vines respond to your will. They unwrap from the siren's body, and she clamors to her feet. Your choice will be remembered. She gives you and Apollo one last glare, and then flaps out to the front of the shop. I admire your mercy, but just in case she decides to spend it unwisely. Yeah, I don't want to be around if she comes back. I'm afraid your life as we know it, or you know it, are over. But I can help you with what comes next if you'll let me. I don't have much of a choice now, do I? Well, there's always a choice. You can stay here, deny who you are, try to forget what you've seen tonight. But if you do so, I cannot guarantee your safety. Through the broken front door, you hear the distant screech of more sirens drawing closer. Fine. I just glance around the broken remnants of your shop one last time, the shop that's been your life for the past 5 years. What am I going to tell my dad? For now, anything that will make him steer clear of this place. You send your dad a quick text about a gas leak as Apollo leads you onto the street, scanning the sky for any sirens. A gleaming gold cab pulls up at the curb. The driver rolls down the window and sticks his head out, waving. Hear you need a ride? Excellent timing as always, Hermes. This is Arbor. Arbor? This is... Hermes, part-time ride-share driver, full-time god of messengers, travelers, and right now getting you the hell out of Dodge. Aye, sounds great to me. You slide into the back seat, followed by Apollo, and then Hermes peels away from the curb at truly alarming speed. But, despite the screech of tires, cars parked for him in a way you've never seen in all your years of LA traffic. So, if Greek gods are real, what are you doing in LA? Apollo sees a vision of me in danger, and you swoop across the Atlantic to the rescue? Oh no, we're local. Been in California for over a century, but we also came here tonight hoping you could help us. The vision I saw of you told me you could save my family, and I hope someone closer to your own. Your mother, Demeter, has recently gone missing. I went and checked, I'm saying her name correctly. Missing. Why should I care about a woman who left me? If this Demeter is really my mom, she walked out on me and my dad before I even was a year old. She made it pretty clear I wasn't her problem and she's not mine. Hey, in this pantheon, weird parental feelings are basically an entire requirement. I get it. But bad news is, her being MIA is everyone's problem. And agricultural and seasons are the most famous parts of her domain, but at her core, she rules over the cycle of life and death. Without her, that cycle is breaking down. Children aren't being born when they should. Death isn't always sticking. That'd be kinda cool. You know, the whole death not sticking part. Wait, I have this client whose baby's overdue. Why? That's why? Because this Demeter is missing? Yep. And it's only going to get worse unless you take the wheel of Demeter's domain. Just until we find her. Hang on. What does take the wheel here mean? Assume her responsibilities among the gods of our pantheon. Set the cycle of life back on its track. And in exchange, you gain access to her powers in the sanctuary of Olympus. You mean in case more mythological creatures decide to turn me into a midnight snack? Are there a lot of those out there? Not in plain sight, no. They hide their true forms from the public, same as us. But yes, there are plenty of wonders and threats in this world. So think of this as a help us, help you scenario. What do you say? I'm ready to be a part of something bigger. I've felt out of place for as long as I can remember, like I was stuck in a prologue, but couldn't get the pages to turn any faster. You and me both. I wasn't picturing monsters trash your shop, and you find out you're a demigod, but if that's the answers I've been waiting for, I'm ready. Nope, that's a spirit. And seeing a demigod isn't all fighting for your life or solving crises, I swear. If you want a minute to breathe and ask more questions, I know the safe place that isn't Hermes' car. He points out the window, upward, towards a cloud-studded night sky. That's where you get to process life-changing revelations, the clouds? Perks I've got. Care to join me for a walk? Okay, I need to know this. If we're going for a walk, we'd go for a walk. We're gonna go for a fly. Wonderful. Hermes, can you traffic parts in front of your car like the Red Sea as he swerves over into a completely nondescript parking space? You got it. Have fun. He snaps his fingers and your door swings open, but you aren't looking out onto the street. You're looking at the tops of the clouds as they slowly drift across the moon-drenched sky. Oh, it's pretty. Oh, I long for the stars myself. That is really pretty, though. Whoa. Apollo steps out of his own door onto the cloud bank. He strolls over to your side and bounces lightly on the clouds, grinning. I'll hold you, I promise. He offers a hand to help you out of the car. Calloused fingers brush your palm as you take his hand. He pulls you up with even more ease than you'd expect from a solid frame. Thanks for the assist. You let your hand linger in his for a moment, and he meets your gaze. A soft smile curves his lips. After all the chaos I've been introduced you today, this is the least I could do. His car suddenly vanishes beneath the cloud bank, and then it's just you and Apollo standing in the night sky. Plot problem. The sirens can fly. Just saying. You slowly begin walking over the clouds, where they occasionally part. You can see glimpses of the city below, tiny lights spilling across the coast. I've had dreams where I was flying before, but this... You reach out and grab a passing wisp of a cloud. It's like dancing mist in your hand. This is really happening, isn't it? I'm a demigod? You're a god? Yes. So, what does that mean? Well, let's see. With your powers awakened, you'll find your body growing stronger in many ways. Faster reflexes, less prone to injury. That's also how you're breathing when the air is this thin. So, this is what, 10,000 feet above sea level tastes like? It's so crisp. Apollo takes a deep breath and lets it out, smiling. Refreshing, isn't it? Technically, as a full god, I don't need to breathe at all. It's nice to smell the metaphorical roses, though. What else should I know about you? Well, I'm an open book. What would you like to know? Tell me. Why not? Is it true that Hermes stole your lure once? I assume the big stories are true. Son of Zeus, you've got a twin sister who's great at hunting, but I want the juicy stuff. Well, yes, all the above. And yes, Hermes did steal my lure in his youth, along with a flock of sacred cows. Oh, which one were you more steamed about? The lure, easily. The cow trick was more impressive, though. It's hard to hide a whole herd from a god who can walk in the sky. So, was him getting us out of my shop payback for past crimes, or did you forgive him? He laughed softly. We gods aren't always good with grudges, I'll admit, but in the many eons since, I've more than forgiven him. He may be my half-brother, but I also consider him one of my closest friends. And what do gods do when you aren't saving strangers from sirens? Well, that answer has changed a lot over the centuries. The days of mortals openly following us are over. In fact, we work hard to ensure that most remain unaware of gods like us. Gods like you, so there are other pantheons out there? Have you met Kratos? He would like a moment of your time. Dozens of them. At least, though you aren't likely to run into them on this coast. Mortal faith in the things we all stand for still gives us power. However, we can use to aid them as best as we can. Over the years, the power in our homeland began to fade, so Zeus brought us here in the late 18th century. You all just wanted a change of pace? That and the climate here suits us. Not just the physical climate, but the golden god's not mad about living in the sunny golden state, huh? He smiles, his whole face seems to brighten. I might have something to do with that reputation. He raises a hand as if lifting some unseen weight, and the sun rolls into the sky, drenching the clouds in radiant light. It washes away a chill you didn't realize was sinking into your skin, and when you hold out a hand, sunlight seems to pool into it. Whoa. Did you just change the whole rotation of the Earth? Did half the globe just get plunged into darkness right now, or did you just make it look like the sun is here, or, magic is usually simpler than that. The Earth is still spinning, as she usually and always has, and also the sun is now shining on us. Now, both can be true. That is not a simpler explanation. My sister Athena would agree with you, but it's the best one I have. He sits down on the edge of one cloud, his legs dangling into the mist, and you join him. So, how are you doing? The whole learning reality is completely different than what I knew, and also my mom's a goddess thing? Yeah, from birth I knew my father was Zeus, god of thunder, but growing up was still difficult. I can't imagine how you're feeling right now. I'm weirdly okay. Tonight's been surreal, but it also feels like I finally picked up the puzzle pieces I've been missing my whole life. My mom, the knack I've always had for plants, it always makes sense. I'm glad to have brought you some clarity. My life makes no bloody sense. No one can figure it out, seriously. And this helped, seriously. I never thought being up on a cloud would make me feel this grounded. So what now? I go take over my Demeter's powers? Unfortunately, it's not quite that simple. My family is very jealous when it comes to sharing their power. The good news is, I know one woman who can help us. Someone they never really say no to. I'm assuming your mother? With a snap of Apollo's fingers, you step down from the clouds to the front gate of a glittering Hollywood mansion. The front door swings open to you, and you step into a crowded foyer that makes your jaw drop. I'm trying to think of her name. The woman who's all about seduction and all that. You watch one smiling woman, a beautiful influencer, who's all the rage, turn to kiss a shirtless man you've seen in a dozen movie trailers. Hi Ryan, how are you? As Apollo guides you through the crowd of bodies all in similar states of partial dress, you pass other rooms where couples or thruples are kissing. Come here. Hidden speakers are pumping bassy music through the mansion, but you can still hear moans from behind curtain areas and catch a glimpse of bodies moving. Wow. How exactly is this party supposed to help me? I thought the mission was get Olympus to let me in, not get laid. Our host would help with both, if you asked, but I promise she can accomplish the former. Apollo leads you down one more corridor, and then you see her. The most beautiful woman in the world lounges on a throne. Despite the giddy couples intertwined throughout her domain, she sits alone, indifferent to their rapports. Okay. When she spots you and Apollo, her statuesque expression finally changes. One perfectly arched eyebrow arches further. Apollo, It's been a while since my favorite ray of sunshine stopped by. We aren't here for the festivities, I'm afraid. I'd like you to meet Arbor, the newest demigod in town. Arbor, this is Aphrodite, goddess of love, beauty, and pleasure. Hi. I'm assuming she's a love interest. We don't even get to pick our love interest today, or this time. It's confusing. I mean, everybody and their mother knows who Aphrodite is. I forgot her name, but... You bow, because it feels like the right thing to do under the weight of her gaze. She studies you for a moment, that gaze piercing your heart like an arrow. Then she lets out a peal of laughter, like silver bells. Oh, so polite. She is charming. Wherever did you find such a gorgeous godling, Apollo? Being attacked by some sirens, unfortunately. You don't have any of those here, do you? Because they were bad enough with the clothes on. She waves an elegant hand in dismissal. You're safe, I assure you. No one steps through those doors without my consent. But what did a flock of sirens want with a barely fledged demigod? Well, either a meal or to remove a daughter of Demeter from our midst. Your mother is Demeter? Believe me, no one's more surprised than I am. And your father is immortal. Does he know about your heritage? Honestly, I haven't had time to ask him. I've been busy fighting for my life and finding out that all this exists. You just heard yourself, Apollo and Aphrodite's mansion. Life, death, getting screwed up. Apparently, you need me to fix it, or Olympus does, so we were hoping you could help. Help you convince Almighty Zeus to let a half-mortal take Demeter's throne, you mean? He's not going to be pleased. Yeah, I heard. But this is everyone's problem. I'm the solution. I don't know how to fix goddamn life itself, but unless you all help me figure it out, what's gonna happen? Does death just get more messed up here in Los Angeles, or do you want to see how much worse it can get? She sighs and presses two slender fingers to one temple. I won't plead your case for you. Aphrodite, this is... But I will help. We'll get you freshened up, forewarned, and I'll walk through Olympus's doors at your side. Consider it a show of faith. Thank you. Thank Demeter. Once we find her, she helped me get divorced a few thousand years ago. Consider this payment towards that very large debt. She rises from her throne and begins circling you like a lioness assessing you from head to toe. You have looks, that's a start, but looks alone won't be enough to impress the highest and mightiest gods of Olympus. Still vain, I see. Right. Romancing, I'm pausing for now. Just, I don't know. What else do I need? If you're about to meet gods, you need to look like one. She snaps her fingers and a clothing rack materializes out of thin air next to her. Whoa, convenient. I've always been jealous of that trick. She plucks several pieces of shimmering fabric from it, and as she begins holding them up against her body, they move. The fabric twines itself into a glittering ensemble worthy of royalty. That'll do nicely. Now let's see how it fits. Olympian hair. You hold out your arms, and with another snap of Aphrodite's fingers, the outfit instantly appears on you, perfectly molded to your body. Wow. Works every time. This is perfect. But what happened to my other clothes? Oh, if you're that attached to them. She wrinkles her nose, but in a puff of reddish smoke, your clothes appear folded at your feet. Thanks. Not all of us can summon more of these on a magic coat rack. Just don't carry them in under your arm. If Heresy's thrift store clothing in her halls, you'll be tossed out before we even get started. Not literally tossed out, right? Not if I have anything to say about it, but what we're about to do is not without risk. The last demigod who walked into Olympus and asked to take a seat was Dionysus, and that was eons ago. Our family doesn't do well with change. Hey, I got a question. Is Hercules canon? But they need to. We just have to convince them of that, which is the other way in which Aphrodite can help us. One, can you read minds? No, arts. I can sense what people want, the core hopes, fears that share their desires, the need for power, comfort, or love. You see that about everyone? I wish I could read people like that. I bet I could have gotten a discount on my shop's lease, or my apartment. It has pros and cons, trust me. But if you want, I can give you some pointers on handling our family, how to tell them what they want most to hear. Ask nicely, and I might even throw some gossip on the side. Really? Then let's chat somewhere more privately. She rises from her throne and loops one arm through yours, guiding it towards a door draped with pink curtains. Apollo starts to follow, but she tisks him. Sorry, darling, but this is for the godling's ears only. How else am I going to tell her juicy gossip about you? Fair enough. Just try to leave some of my reputation intact. She ushers you into a private lounge, lit with warm but dim lights. She settles onto one couch and gestures for you to join her. Before we get to the gossip, can I ask what it's like? Your powers, I mean? All I can do right now is make plants grow, but what does it mean to sense what's in people's hearts? She laughs softly, as if it's a question she's answered thousands of times. That's always the power mortals are curious about. Most assume I know people's sexual proclivities, and yes, that is true. But all desires, carnal or otherwise, are rooted in deeper longings of the heart. Her gaze flits over you, not as piercing as it was on her throne, but it makes you shift in your seat. That is the real power. To know what people lack and what they think will soothe that heartache. I'd love for her to take a shot at me. Good luck. That's more info I'd want on everyone around me. There is nothing shameful about desire to me. It's one of the most broken parts of the mortal world, that so many judge their own need for love and pleasure, or judge how others seek them. I'm with you. It just feels like a lot to know about everyone you pass on the street. That's a matter of personal taste, I suppose, but I hope those deeper insights can help you in what's to come. So, who am I gonna need to impress on Olympus? I've met 3 gods so far. Aren't there 12 of you? 13, technically, but only 12 thrones. It's a long story, but most of the gods are rarely on Olympus. Apollo's sister is usually helping with the downtrodden, Dionysus hates family politics, and Hades hasn't left the underworld in a millennia. That's 3 less for me to worry about. I'll take it. My ex-husband visits sometimes, but he prefers not to leave his workshop. And my ex, I hope for your sake that he won't be there. No names. We're just gonna have to guess this one. Your ex? What god is that? Not trying to be nosy, just catching up on what sounds like thousands of years of context. Well, I'll give you the quick version. I was married to Hephaestus once, god of the forge. Good man, bad match. I also had a relationship with his brother, Ares, god of war. Then Kratos came along. What? He sounds fun. In bed, very, but he is not a good man. Your mother eventually convinced me to break things off with Hephaestus. It took me longer to break things off with Ares. For the sake of keeping things civil, let's pray neither of them is there. Hang on, you pray? Who do goddesses pray to? Oh, you are a sharp one, but I'm afraid that's personal. For a decision as weighty as giving Demetrius Stone to a demigod no one has heard of before tonight, you'll need to worry about the elders. Hestia will support you if she's there, but it is Zeus, Hera, and Poseidon you'll need to convince. Tell me about... Alright, the gist of things I'm pretty sure I know about Zeus. Hera is a coin flip. Poseidon. Poseidon is one of Zeus's brothers, along with Hades, god of the sea and storms. Lucky for you, he likes to go with the flow. How does he feel about your ocean puns? She winks. Hates them, actually, but he's not here. Lucky us. His favorite hobbies these days are beach combing, toying with surfers, but he still thinks he's a mighty warrior of old. So show him that you can handle yourself and you should be fine. Just watch out for his dynamic with Zeus. Sometimes he'll be contrary just to get on his brother's nerves. Be polite, beware civil rivalries, gotta... Tell me about Hera. Hera is the queen of Olympus, goddess of the family, marriage, childbirth, though she deserves more credit for her other work. Ever seen a peacock? She invented them. Wait, she can make animals and that's not what she's famous for? Make isn't quite the right word. She turned a 1,000-eyed giant into one. But we're getting off track. Some consider her vain or temperamental, but they forget that she spent eons married to Zeus. That would fray anyone's patience. That's why I said she's a flip of the coin. So, I shouldn't bring up her marriage? Correct. Flattery is a safe bet with Hera. Don't grovel, though. If she thinks you're trying to please her, she'll take offense. So just be normal. Honestly, fair. Tell me about Zeus. God of lightning, thunder, law of order. Zeus is the king of Olympus and Apollo's father, if he hasn't mentioned it. He likes to think of himself as almighty, all-knowing, but he is much mightier than he is knowledgeable. How so? A Titan once gave him an offering of meat scraps for the choicier cuts piled on top. Guess who didn't think to look beneath them? He's that easy to fool. Aphrodite's smile instantly vanishes. Only if you're willing to risk your life in the attempt. His temper is messy, and he is a king. Kings do not practice forgiveness. If he wants Zeus' support, play to his ego. Let him think he's as powerful and benevolent as he imagines. I can handle that. You mentioned Hestia earlier. Who is that? Goddess of hearth and home. Basically, the living embodiments of coziness. You'll meet her soon, I'm sure. I assume Hermes brought you here, and Apollo you already know, although I have to admit I don't usually see much of him. He's not into parties? Not my kind of parties, but it's more that he's always busy trying to play the hero. When mortals learn about us, they imagine power, pleasure, immortality. They rarely consider what a burden godhood can be. And Apollo carries a heavier share than most. What kind of burdens is he carrying? I know he saw some vision of me in danger tonight. That's how he found me. But he didn't tell me what that's like. Those are the good visions. When he sees a threat that has not yet come to pass. Meaning, if he'd seen a vision of me after the Sirens attacked, instead of it happening... Yes, not every glimpse of the future is a good one. But in this case, his power has brought you to us, and you're certainly an intriguing surprise. I like not being dead, so it was a win for me too. She stretches, rolling her shoulders from side to side. Now why don't you tell us about herself? Well, if I've adequately satisfied your curiosity, we have some other gods to introduce you to. She sighs, glancing towards the door. And I should do one last walk through the mansion before we go. Make sure all the guests are happy. I wanted to ask you about that. Why throw the parties if you seem so bored with them? Because they're not for me. I'll indulge now and then, but really, these are for them. She gestures toward the door and all the partygoers you know to be outside. Whether they know who I am or not, people come to my domain looking for connection. It's my duty to help them find what they want for the night, whether that's mind-blowing good moments or the sparks of true love. And what about you? What do you want out of nights like this? She laughs, that bell-like laugh again. Honestly, to be left alone. You are what I expected from the goddess of love. Her smile flickers back on in an instant. Oh, I'm still everything you'd expect when I have to be, or when I want to. But I've been alive for eons. The whole ancient Greek symbol thing got awfully one note after the first few centuries AD. Well, you look pretty great for being an ancient god. That's magic for you, and the power of a good moisturizer. You both get up, and she studies you for a moment. Aphrodite snaps her fingers, and the air whirls around you, smoothing your clothes and brushing dust you didn't know you were carrying off your skin. There, you look less like a deer in the headlights now. I look the same. I feel less like one. Thanks for all your help. Consider it an investment in my own reputation. I'm not about to walk into Olympus next to a new demigod and let her embarrass me. All it takes is a quick call to Hermes, and the three of you are speeding away from Aphrodite's mansion through the streets of L.A. You make it downtown in record time, and Hermes stops the car right in front of a towering skyscraper. I swear I've driven past this place before, but there was never an entrance. Ah, perks of being an awakened demigod. Good luck in there, new kid. If things get dicey and you need an exit, just picture my cab and I'll find you. We haven't even seen his cab, at least we haven't. Maybe we should have, Pixelberry. You take a deep breath and walk inside, flanked by Aphrodite and Apollo. The steely lobby contains a single elevator. I assume this mountain symbol on the panel is... Mount Olympus, yes. My father isn't particularly big on subtlety. The lightning god. Unsubtle. How shocking. You press the button, and an electric pulse briefly surges through your fingertip. Then the elevator begins to move. The higher it rises, the faster it goes. In moments, you're carried up an impossible number of stories, far more than the building's exterior could hold. Okay. Now I understand how Dorothy felt leaving Kansas. Charming metaphor. What does that make us? One of you is Toto, and... I don't know. Someone fill in the blank for the other one. I don't know. Someone pick Toto for me. I've only known you for an hour, but I'm gonna say Glinda the Good. I'm lost on that one. I actually have a brain for it. I have no clue. I prefer Elphaba, but flattering answer. I nominate Apollo as Toto. See, she answered it. There you go. A role I wear proudly. I was afraid you were going to say the Cowardly Lion. Gods, no. I still remember your medieval phase. You look awful in furs. The elevator abruptly slows to a perfect stop. The doors open to reveal a vast, gleaming hallway. Wisps of cloud dance between the Greek columns, and two figures stand in front of the elevator waiting. Ah. Okay. It must be Zeus, clearly. You've made it. It took them long enough. The muscular man beams down at you all, but the woman beside him just gives you an icy stare. Apollo and Aphrodite bow. Father, Queen Hera, thank you for meeting us. Apollo sent word that he was coming, but you are surprised, Aphrodite. Oh, I couldn't miss out on such a special occasion, your majesties. May we present Arbor, daughter of Demeter. It's an honor to meet you both. You bow, and Hera's gaze sweeps over you from head to toe. She does not smile, but she inclines her head with a fraction of an inch. For a half-mortal, you dress better than your station. That's something. Aphrodite gives you a subtle wink. Told you it would be the perfect fit.
Welcome to Olympus. It's great to meet another member of the family, but listen. There's no way in Hades we're letting you take Demeter's throne.
Oh, it's so nice of you to talk down to me like that. Both of you, really, I'm flattered. This is why Kratos kills all of you. What? You've never played God of War, you really should. It's a lot of fun. So, without further ado, as you can see, there's chapter 2 up. Today is Friday. Yes, I'm late. If you've read through the chapters leading up to this week, you knew I was going to be late. So, yeah. Stay tuned for the chapter 2 of Olympus Rising, Immortal Desires, and Into the Woods. Other than that, let me know how your day is going. Let me know what you thought of chapter 1 so far. And will you be coming back for chapter 2? Otherwise, thanks for watching. Catch you all later. Peace out.